In the last chapter, we learned about the passive voice, how to change an assertive sentence into a passive voice, and we also discussed about some of the rules about the change of tense, about the change of pronouns, and some of the rules I think were left in the last topic. So here we are completing the rules and. Uh, the rules which were left earlier are now been explained like this. We discussed that the future perfect tense is changed into future perfect continuous tense. Okay, and whenever ing form is given in the active voice, we simply add being after the helping verb in the passive voice and remove ing from the verb and make it the third form. Okay, so if the ing form of the verb is used in the active voice, we simply use being after the helping verb, okay, and then make the third form of the verb in the passive voice. Let us see some examples, like Raman is painting the door. In this sentence we have added ing in the verb paint. Okay, and the passive voice of this sentence will be, first we will pick up the object from the active voice, that is the door. The door is the object of the sentence above, and then we will add the helping verb is, because the door is singular here. Then we will add being after the helping verb, okay, and then remove ing from the verb paint and then make it the third form, so it will be painted. Okay, then the by and then the doer of the action, that is Raman. Let's see some more examples. Varsha was decorating her room. In this sentence ing form of decorate is used. Okay, and when we will make the passive voice of this sentence, we will pick up the object, the room in the beginning, sorry, her room in the beginning. So her room will be the object of the sentence above, then the verb was will be used, then being will be added to the helping verb, then the third form decorated of the verb decorate will be used, and then the by and then the doer Varsha. So in this manner we make the passive voice of the sentences in which ing form of the verb is used. But whenever going to is given in the active voice, we do not add being after the helping verb, but we simply add be after going to and change the form of the verb into the third form of the verb. Okay, and in this manner we make the passive voice of the sentences. So if I say Rohan is going to buy some fruits from the market, in this sentence going to is given, and after going to buy, which is the first form of the verb, is given. Okay, so first we will pick up the object from the sentence above, and the object of the sentence above is some fruits. Then the helping verb we will use are, okay, because some fruits in the second sentence, and then going to will be used. We want to make it being, we want to use being. Okay, if going to is given in the sentence, then be will be added to going to, then the third form bought of the first form of the verb buy will be used, then the by, then the doer of the action, that is Rohan, and then the remaining sentence, that is from market. So the sentence will be some fruits are going to be bought by Rohan from market. Clear? Let's see some more examples. Vikram was going to play cricket. In this sentence, cricket is the object. Okay, so we will pick up the object in the beginning and place it in the beginning. Cricket is the object, so it will be placed in the beginning. Then the helping verb was will be used. Okay, then going to will be used as it is, and then we will add be after going to. Then the third form played, then by, then the doer of the action, that is Vikram. So in this manner we make the passive voice of the sentence in which going to is given. Okay, so care should be taken when we are making the passive voice of the sentences in which the ing form of the verb is used, and the sentences of and the passive voice of those sentences in which the going to and the first form of the verb is used. Okay, then some other rules like we also add be after the modals. Okay, modals like can, could, may, might, would, should, must, ought to, will, shall, all these are the modals. So when modals are given in the active voice, we simply add be after them, and then the third form of the verb is used in the passive voices. Okay, for example, Ravi can lift this stool. In this sentence, can is a modal. Okay, so when we will make the passive voice of this sentence, first we will pick up the object, that is stool. Okay, this stool is the object in the sentence above. Then the modal can will be used, and we will add be after that. Then the third form lifted will be used, and then the by, and then the doer Ravi. So in this manner we will make the passive voice of the sentence in which the modal auxiliaries are given. We have already seen that there are almost many types of modals which are given, okay, in the list above. And when we are making the passive voice of the sentences in which modals are given, we use be after those modals and then make the third form. Okay, so in this manner we change the active voice of the assertive sentence into the passive voice. Now we come to the statements which are also changed into the passive voice. In these statements we are not given any object, we are not given any verb, but still they can be changed into the passive voice. Okay, suppose if a statement is given in the active voice, and if we do not find a verb and an object in the statement, then how can we change into passive voice? So here we are going to discuss about the statements which can be changed into passive voice. Okay, so let us have some examples. First, elephants are clever animal. In this sentence, this is a plain statement about the animals, about the elephant. Okay, and there is no main verb given in the sentence. Okay, so how will we change this sentence into the passive voice? So the sentence above can be changed into passive voice like this. First, elephants are said to be clever animals. Okay, one more way is there to change the statement into the passive voice, and that is we can say also, it is said that elephants are clever animal. So in this manner we can change the statement into passive voice. Okay, let's see some more examples. People say honesty is the best policy. In this sentence also, honesty is the best policy is a plain statement. Okay, and this we have to change into the passive voice. So we can change this sentence into the passive voice like the sentences given above. Okay, we can change this sentence like this. Honesty is said to be the best policy. This is the first method. Okay, and the second method is that we can say this statement like this into the passive voice. It is said that honesty is the best policy. So in this manner we can change the statements into the passive voice. Okay, now we come to the imperative sentences which are changed into the passive voice also. Okay, and let's see how the imperative sentences changed into the passive voice. We all know that imperative sentences are the sentences which begin with a verb and which give the sense of a request, order, command, prohibition, advice, suggestion, etc. Okay, so first let's understand what an imperative sentence is. So sentences which begin with a verb and give the meaning and give the sense of an order, request, command, prohibition, advice, and suggestion. These sentences are known as the imperative sentences. Okay, for example, open the door. This is a kind of order. Okay, fire. It's a kind of command. Okay, please give me your pen. It's a kind of request. All these sentences are the examples of imperative sentences. Okay, don't make a noise. It's a kind of prohibition. Take more fruits and green vegetables. It's a kind of advice. So all these sentences are the examples of imperative sentence. And now how to change these sentences into the passive voice. So now come to the changing of these sentences into the passive voice. Okay, so when we are going to change the imperative sentence into the passive voice, we use the three methods to change the sentences into the passive voice. Okay, all these three methods will be discussed in this exercise. Okay, so let us discuss the first method first. Okay, that is, we simply use you are, then requested, okay, then to, then the active voice given. Okay, we can also change the verb requested to advised, to commanded, to ordered, to prohibited, to forbade. Okay, so it depends upon the sense which the active voice make. If the active voice makes the sense of a request, we will simply write you are requested to. But if the active voice makes the sense of an order, then we can also write you are ordered to. If the sentence given makes the sense of prohibition, then we can also write you are prohibited or forbidden. Okay, instead of requested to. If the sentence given makes the sense of an advice, then we can also write you are advised to, and then the given passive voice. So if we are going to change the active voice to change the first sentence, open the door, into the passive voice, okay, we will simply write you are. Okay, the first sentence is a kind of order, so we can write ordered, then to, then the given active voice, that is open the door. This is very simple method of changing the active voice, changing the imperative sentence to the passive voice. Okay, the second sentence fire is a kind of command, so we can change this sentence like this: you are commanded to fire. Isn't it so easy? Okay, so in this manner we can change the imperative sentence into the passive voice. Let us take the third example also. Please give me your pen. And the passive voice of this sentence will be you are requested to, because the third sentence is a kind of request, so we will use requested to. Okay, then please will be removed, kindly will be removed. Okay, and then the remaining sentence, that is given, give me your pen. Okay, the fourth sentence, don't make a noise, is a kind of prohibition. Okay, so we can write, you are prohibited to make a noise. Don't and never will be removed when we are making the passive voice of these sentences. Okay, and the last but not the least one, take more fruits and green vegetables. And the passive voice of this sentence will be, you are advised, because it's a kind of advice. Okay, so we will write, you are advised to take more fruits and green vegetables. More fruits and green vegetables. Okay, so in this manner we will make the passive voice of the imperative sentence. I think you must have understood how to make the passive voice of the imperative sentence. Okay, let us discuss two more rules of changing the imperative sentence into the passive voice. Okay, the second method is that first we use let, then the object of the imperative sentence, then if not is given, write not, but if it is not given, don't write not. Okay, then we add be, then the third form of the verb is used. Okay, so when we are going to make the passive voice of the sentence, open the door. Okay, the sentence will be like this, let, then the object the door, not is not given in the sentence, so we won't use not, then be, then the third form open will be used. Okay, let the door be opened will be the passive voice of the first sentence. Got it? Let's see some more examples. Switch on the TV. This is the active voice. Okay, so the passive voice of this sentence, first let, then the object the TV, then be will be used, then the third form of the verb will be used. Okay, so this is the method of how to change the imperative sentence into the passive voice. The third method is, first we use the object in the beginning, then should, if not is given, use not after should, if it is not given, don't use it, then be, then the third form of the verb. Okay, so for example, write your name with blue pen. Okay, and the passive voice of this sentence will be, object first, name is the your name is the object. Okay, and then should be, then the third form written, then with the blue pen. Okay, one more example, paint the windows today. This is also a kind of imperative sentence. Okay, so when we will make the passive voice of this sentence, first we will pick up the object. Okay, the windows is the object, then should be, then the third form of the verb painted, then today. Okay, so in this manner we make the passive voice of the imperative sentence. Clear? Now we come to the interrogative sentence, and in interrogative we know about two kinds of sentences. The first kind, that we use the WH words to make the questions, and we also use the helping verb in the beginning of the sentence to make the questions. Okay, so now let's discuss about how to change the interrogative sentences into the passive voice. And we are all aware that in all kinds of sentences of which we are going to make the passive voice, we need an object. Okay, so in the interrogative sentence we would definitely need the object to make the passive voice. Okay, so like all the sentences which we discussed earlier, we also need such sentences in which the object is given, because without object it is very difficult to make the pronouns to make the passive voice. Okay, so first to discuss about the interrogative sentence which begins with the WH word. Okay, uh, here I am writing about a structure by which we can make the passive voice. So when we are going to make the passive voice of the WH words or the questions of WH words, first we will write the same WH words given in the active voice. Then the helping verb will be used as per the tense given in the active voice. Okay, then if and then the object of the active voice. Okay, then if not is given in the active voice, use it after the object. Okay, and after that we use be, being and been if the sentence demands for these be, being and been. But in each sentence we won't use be, being and been. Whenever modals and going to are given in the sentence, we would simply write be after the object. Okay, and when ing form of the verb is given in the sentence, we will write being, and if the ing form of the verb is not given, we won't write being after that. Okay, and if has, have, had or will have, shall have are given in the active voice, then we use been, and if they are not given, we won't use been. So be, being and been will be used only when the conditions applicable for their use are given in the active voice. Okay, then the third form of the verb will be used, then the preposition by, then doer of the action. Okay, then the remaining sentence. Okay, and after that we would put the question mark after the passive voice. Okay, let's see some examples. For example, why did you not complete your work? This is the passive voice of an interrogative sentence. Okay, and when we will make the passive voice of this sentence, first we will use the WH word why. Okay, then the helping verb was will be used. Why? Because simple past tense given in the first sentence will be changed into the past continuous tense, and so was will be used. Okay, then the object your work. Okay, and after object not will be used because not is given in the active voice. Okay, then the third form of the verb will be used, that is completed. Okay, then the preposition by, then door, you. Okay, so in this way we will change the passive voice, we will change the active voice into the passive. Okay, and some let us see some more examples, and after discussing these examples, it will be easier for us to make the passive voice of the interrogative sentence. Okay, let's take some more examples, like where have you kept the money? Okay, and the passive voice of this sentence, first the WH word where will be used. Okay, then let us see the object in the second sentence. The money is the object, so we will use has because money is singular here. Then the object money. Okay, we will use been because has is given here in the sentence. Okay, then the third form of the verb, that is kept, then the preposition by, and then the doer of the action you. Okay, the third sentence is what do you give your parents on their anniversary? This is the sentence. Okay, and in this sentence the object is your parent. First we will write the WH word, that is what. Okay, then do, does, come in the simple present tense and simple present tense. In the passive voice is changed into the present continuous tense. So in place of do does we write is, are or am in the passive voice. So your parents here is plural, so we will write are. Okay, and then the object your parents. Okay, and then the third form of the verb given will be used. Okay, then the subject, then the preposition by, and then the doer of the action you, and then the remaining part of the sentence, that is on their marriage anniversary. Okay, so in this way we will change the passive voice, we will change the interrogative sentence into the passive voice. Okay, and there are also some interrogative sentence in which the subject is not given, and when in the sentences the subject is not given, then we make the passive voice of the sentence in quite a different manner. Okay, so let us discuss the interrogative sentence in which the subject is not given. Okay, so most of these sentences begin with what and whom. So when the sentence begins with whom, we simply use by whom. Okay, and when the sentence, and when the doer or agent is not given in the sentences which begin with what, we use by what. Okay, in those sentences to make their passive voice. Let's see some examples of who and what in which the subject is not given. Okay, let's see. First, what gives you immense pleasure? Immense pleasure. In this sentence, no subject is given in the active voice. Okay, because the subject is always given before the main verb, and before gives there is no subject. So when the subject is not given, we use by what to make the passive voice of such sentences. Okay, then the helping verb, the sentence given above is in the simple present tense, so the passive voice of this sentence will be in the present continuous tense. Okay, so we will use is, are and am in the passive voice of this sentence, and use the object, so we will use are in the sentences, in the sentence. Okay, then the third form of the verb given. Okay, then the remaining part of the sentence, that is immense pleasure. Okay, so the sentence will be by what are you given immense pleasure. Okay, let's see some more examples. What makes you worried? In this sentence also, no agent or doer is given before the verb makes. Okay, so the passive voice of the sentence will be made in the similar manner. Okay, by what in the beginning, then the helping verb is, are, am, because the sentence given above is in simple present tense again. So we will use is, are, and am. The object given in the sentence is you, so the verb will be are. By what are you? Then the third form made, then the remaining part worried. So the sentence by what are you made worried will be the passive voice of the sentence. Okay, let's see the examples of who also. When we say who sold this house, in this sentence also before sold there is no doer or agent. So the passive voice of this sentence will be started with by whom. Okay, then the verb was or were will be used because the sentence given above is in simple past tense. So the passive voice of this sentence will be in past continuous tense. So we can use was and were. Okay, first let us see what is the object in this sentence. This house is the object, and this house is singular Okay, so we will use was. After by whom, then after was we will use the object. Okay, then the third form sold will be used. Let's take one more example. Who threw the ball into the well? In this sentence also there is no doer or agent. Okay, and so when we will make the passive voice of this sentence, we will simply write by whom in the beginning, and then add the helping verb. Okay, and then write the object. Okay, so by whom is the beginning of the sentence. Okay, who threw is the second form, and that is in the simple past tense, so we will use was and were. Was will be used, okay, because the object is the ball, which is singular. Okay, so by whom was the ball, then the third form thrown into the. In this manner we will make the passive voice of the sentences in which the subject or the doer or the agent of the action is not given. Okay, now let us come to the sentences which begin with the helping verb. Okay, so the interrogative questions, interrogative sentences which begin with the helping verb. Okay, for examples, have you learned the lesson? In this sentence, the sentence begins with the helping verb have. Okay, and it's a kind of question. So when we will make the passive voice of this sentence, we will place the helping verb in the beginning also. Okay, but first let us see what is the object in that sentence. The lesson is the object in that sentence, so we will use the verb has because the lesson is singular subject, okay, of the passive voice. So the lesson, then we will use been because has is given here. Okay, then the third form of the verb learned, then the preposition by, and then the agent or doer. Okay, let's see some more examples. Did Maya call you yesterday? In this sentence also, sentence begins with the helping verb did. Okay, and did is used in the simple past tense, so the active voice, so this sentence is in simple past tense, and the passive voice of this sentence will be in the past continuous tense, so we will use was and were to make the passive voice of this sentence. Okay, but first let us decide what is the object here. The object in this sentence is you, so we will use the helping verb were to make the passive voice of this sentence because you is given as the object. Okay, were you, then the third form called, preposition by, doer of the action Maya, then yesterday. Were you called by Maya yesterday will be the passive voice of this sentence. Okay, one more example. Are you going to organize a tea party? In this sentence, the sentence begins with the helping verb are. Okay, so the passive voice of this sentence will definitely begin with the helping verb. Okay, so a tea party is the object here in this sentence, so it will be started with the helping verb is. Okay, then the object a tea party. Okay, then going to be will be used, and the third form organized by you. Is a tea party going to be organized by you will be the passive voice of this sentence. So in this manner we make the passive voice of the sentences, okay, in which there is a question and which begins with a helping verb. Clear? So let's finish the chapter today. Okay, and I hope that you will be able to understand the chapter well when you listen to it carefully and see all the all the examples given in the chapter. Okay, thank you.